Hello, Skyline. This is Taylor Cater. I am going to provide you with a very basic Canvas tutorial. Not really the technological side. That would obviously be Heidi. This is really more about how to organize your curriculum and using your standards to organize your curriculum within Canvas. If you've already been using Canvas, this really isn't the right tutorial or to kind of professional development for you. I would definitely go to Sid Lotz, where he's going to explain all kinds of really exciting strategies in terms of helping you to organize the Canvas page. Um, Things like how to build modules, how to ensure that students kind of can't move ahead too quickly, all kinds of different things that I think would be very helpful if you're comfortable with Canvas. So again, this probably isn't the right training for you if you've already done quite a bit with Canvas. This is really for people either new to Skyline, new to the district, new to Canvas, or maybe you've been aware of Canvas, but you just don't feel very comfortable with it yet. And you're wondering, where do I get started? How do I set up a really efficient kind of foundation for learning in the classroom and what may be distance learning in the future? So the first thing I want to bring your attention to is here on slide 2. We're going to be covering 7 objectives within my own unit of professional development. And for each unit, there will be a short video. The video is only going to be 2 to 3 minutes long. So there will be a 2 to 3 minute video for each of these objectives. That way you can determine on your own if you want to go and skip ahead to maybe you want to learn more about creating an assignment, or maybe you want to learn more about how to forward a Canvas message to your email, and that's all you need from this. That way you can skip ahead. And for those of you that would really like to have the extra support and assistance, you can listen to all of them if you really want to. So we're going to start with objective number 1, which is I know how to find and organize my standards. That seems like a kind of common sense, but it's really not. And really, you have nothing to be embarrassed about or worried about in that sense. It is not necessarily common sense. And so I want to walk you through how to find your standards very quickly so that you have those on hand as we go through and build kind of an initial Canvas page together. So the first thing I'd like you to do is go to Canvas and log in. And what you need to do once you've logged in is you're going to click on this little icon right here that says Dashboard. And once you've clicked on Dashboard, these should pull up. Now, you may not have these pictures, obviously, but it's going to have your courses listed down here. Choose whatever course you would like to work on with me as we move forward in this. So make sure that you're choosing the same course that you can kind of work with and play around with as I go through all of the different strategies I have for you. I'm going to choose this AP European PBG Masterclass because I had it created to build a course that was proficiency-based learning effective, and also one that I could play around with you guys while we do this tutorial together. So what I'd like you to do once you've clicked on the course, make sure you have your course up, okay? You probably, if you haven't played around with Canvas at all, you won't see anything here. You'll just see this, and you'll see this sidebar, okay? So one more time for those of you that are doing this, you'll click on Dashboard when you first log into Canvas, and then you're going to choose a course that you would like to work on with me as we go through. Okay, and in this case, I've chosen the AP European Master Course. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to now, so you've selected the course, you're going to look at the standards that you have for your course for the next year. If you're teaching AP, those standards can be found on your AP course audit page. If you are doing a course that is a core class, I've given you the link here that you can click on, and it will take you straight to this page. So this page should look relatively familiar. And here you have a curriculum map that you'll click on. Let's say, for example, language arts, so ELA 10, and you're going to have this pull up for you. And this is going to show you exactly what the standard is right here, what the objective is. So make sure you have either a copy of this or you just keep this tab open so that you can refer to it as we move along. You will need this tab in order to do the next step. So again, here's the link. Click on the link to find your standards. Take a second, pause this, take a second, look through your standards so you get kind of comfortable and understand them, okay? And that's gonna launch us into the first step, okay? This first step is objective 1, get comfortable with your standards. Obviously, you know that we are now a PBL learning community, so a proficiency-based learning community, which means that everything needs to center on the standards of what you're teaching. So the questions that you might want to ask yourself, especially if you're a new teacher or even a new teacher to the district, is, did you know you have standards? and I know some of you are probably like, well, of course I know that, but you know, there are actually some teachers who have been teaching for years that don't. So it's a good question to ask. And again, I've given you that same link 2 more times in case you aren't familiar with how to access those standards. Find your standards for your specific subject, just like I showed you. So one more time, click on the standards, click on this link and find the standards for your specific subject. Take a second to do that. You can pause this so you can get that accomplished, but take a second to do that. The next thing that's really important is as you're looking through the standards, so if we were to go back, so you click on this page, as you're looking through these standards, what I'd really like you to think about, and this time we'll click on, let's say, the world history map. I really want you to think about, what is the order I'm going to teach these standards in? Do I like the order that they're organized in? How long is it going to take me to teach each of these standards? And if you're a new teacher, you're sitting there thinking, I have no idea. And that's why you're hopefully doing your your PLCs. Because your colleagues who have been doing this for a while are hopefully going to be able to help you know, for standard 1.1, it's probably going to take you a couple of days to teach, or for standard 2.1, it's probably going to take you 1 day to teach. That's really where you're going to fall back on those planned learning communities, the PLC groups that you have in each department. Even if you are the only one who teaches that subject, you can get a sense for perhaps how long it should take you with each standard if you talk to your colleagues and kind of work with them on that. One thing that I have created for you that hopefully you find useful is the standard organization example, and it's also a template. You certainly don't have to use this. It's just something that you may find helpful. So what I would do if you're trying to think about where to start is access this page, and I've given you an example. So I teach AP European History for the main part, so I've given you an example of 2 standards. What I do is I took the standards for AP European and I just divide them up into this very simple table. So what term is it going to be in? What's the standard? Calendar, so how many days? The way that I break the class down, and I actually was really the beneficiary of both Nathan Kruger and Sid Lott, who really helped me with this, was to break everything down by day. So the first day of school would be day 1. The second day of school would be day 2. So what you need to decide here, this is really where the organization and the benefit is going to come from you doing this is, okay, standard 1.1, I know for AP European, after teaching it for so many years, I know it's going to take me about 10 days to make it through this first standard. It doesn't normally take that long, but with all of the new stuff that I have to introduce and the background information and knowledge, that's going to take me about 10 days to teach that. So I'm going to put on here day 1 to the first 10 days essentially of school, I'm going to be teaching standard 1.1. Then over here, you can put the objectives for the standard. In other words, what are the specific things within the standard you're going to teach? My suggestion to you, because you have 2 days to really work with me and do this, if this is the professional development you've chosen, is to take the time to stop, go through your standards, at least for the first term, and break it down into this chart. So I've given you the space below. You'll need to make a copy of this so that you can create your own. This one you won't be able to edit, so make a copy. And you can do that very easily by going up here to File and just clicking on this, Make a Copy. And you should be able to create a copy that works really well in order for you to put in the information that you need to. So just as an example, I would go back to my World Civ standards here and I'd say, okay, here's the first standard 1.1. I'd go back over here and I'd plug that in. I'd say, okay, I'm going to teach it in term 1. The first standard is 1.1, and then I'd write what it is. And I'd say, you know what, maybe that's going to take about 3 days. So then on this, I would say, okay, so it's going to take me about 3 days. There we go, day 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you're going to really help yourself out if you stop and take the time to do that right now. Even if it takes you the better half of a day, doing this is going to give you the foundation and the direction you need as we continue on with creating a really successful Canvas page. So again, the standard organizer is right here on this slide. Click on it, make a copy of it, and use it. And I can guarantee you that it will help you. And that is it for this first video for objective number 1.